Danny, is a bit of frustration this afternoon?
Yeah, frustration and disappointment. I don't think we were quite at it, as probably everyone would testify today. We were on top for most of the game, but you talk about being on top and that. The ultimate result was 1-1, Yeovil point. Fair play to them. I'm not one to criticise how a team comes and sets up, so fair play for them for coming and getting the point, because the score don't lie. I don't think we created much throughout the game, but at 1-0, worse ways it should have been. Should have been standing there saying it was a scrappy 3 points, and we'll take that. As it was a very average and very scrappy 1 point. 7 points from the last 9 possible is a positive spin, although we were really hoping it should have been a 9 from 9 points, but we go to Wealdstone and we've got to try and make it 10 points from a possible 12, and then this becomes not a distant memory, because that's a bit too negative, but it was one to forget, I suppose, in terms of wasted opportunity to get the 3 points, but you make your own luck, and if the score doesn't lie. So we conceded a poor goal, and when you concede a poor goal and don't turn up second half to create loads of opportunities to win the game, you get what you deserve. So it's 1-1, but we've got to look forward, and luckily we've got a game Tuesday just to get that winning habit back again.
I'm sure when you look back, though, that Grant Smith did make some good saves, though.
Yeah, definitely, but it's I'm not one for just making excuses about what happened. So they made good saves. Maka had a header near the end, maybe should have scored. Took his penalty really well. And, you have to look at the result, really. We're up the top of the league, they're down the bottom. When you're at the top of the league, you've got to try and put teams to bed, and we didn't do that today. At the same time, when it's 1-1 with a minute to go and they're hitting balls down the front, that negative side of you comes in and go, well, the last thing you do is lose this 2-1, because that is a real disaster going into Wealdstone. So, we weren't quite at it today. Everyone knows it. The players are disappointed with it, and the manager's been very positive in there, as always, trying to pick us up and get ready for Tuesday night, because if we win that, like I say, there's sort of the points return from 4 games, isn't bad at all. But we're not silly. This team like Eastleigh won today, and there's teams around us. Wealdstone now got 8, so that'll be a really tough game Tuesday. So we're going to have to take our chances and defend a little bit better from certain positions to get those 3 points.
Yeah, I guess one of the frustrating things, you've touched on it earlier, is that their goal came out of nowhere, really.
Yeah, it did. And I think Phil said up there, was it due to the fact that they didn't get many chances? I think that's a bit of an excuse, really. The worst ways, it should make you more switched on as a team, and it is as a team, defensively. So, like I say, all goals are poor, because there's a mistake along the line, and there's maybe people switching off along the line. But the boys are very disappointed in there. They saw it as a good chance here to really get their momentum going, and obviously I think the last win here was against Altrincham, so we've got to make sure this returns to being a fortress soon, because we had a couple of hundred go down the south end, we had 800 go to Gateshead, and we had nearly 7,000 here today. So as much as we want to entertain the diehards that travel away, we want to entertain the masses that come to the home games. We didn't quite do that today, but rest assured we'll get back to winning ways hopefully Tuesday.
Speaking about sort of the 7,000 that was here, and it works both ways, doesn't it, about lifting the crowd, but did you feel a bit of frustration that between the 48th minute and the 74th there wasn't a chance on goal? You didn't test the goalkeeper enough? I
think you could say that throughout the game. I think there was maybe some dubious decisions early on that we should have other free kicks or penalties, but whatever you say, we've got a penalty which they weren't too happy about, so can't ever go too much at the referee. And we'd like to think we were 2 or 3-0 up at half time, but the worst way is you go in at half time 1-0, and the worst way is again you win the game 1-0 at that point. So to concede after being so dominant is really disappointing, but to be up there, to be successful, you've got to do things above and beyond, and do things the hard way. And at 1-1 today, I think we all still backed us to go and win the game. It wasn't to be. Like I say, we've got another long trip Tuesday. Hopefully we'll take another few hundred proper diehard fans down there, and they'll see our return to winning ways, because we've been really good on the road recently.
How do you think Andrew Dallas slotted in there? He seems to be okay in that 10 role.
Good, yeah. I think you could say that due to the weather and training's been limited, and that's not just for us, by the way, that's for all teams. That's not an excuse. That maybe there's an element of flatness to the environment today, to the buzz, from us. So we have to take responsibility for that. I think as a team, I think sometimes you have to, like I say, try and lift the supporters, and we didn't have chance after chance, or I think a lot of our efforts come from range, which were skied over the bar, and we some good headers from set pieces we didn't quite capitalise on. So it was a very nearly day, if you know what I mean. And to get over the line this season, you've got to turn those nearlies into nailed on, we're 100% going to win days. And we didn't do that today. But as I say, fair play to Yeovil. They come in a relegation fight, they got their point. So there's no sort of criticism from us at all about how they set up at all. We've got to break those teams down A lot of teams have come in, put everyone behind the ball, and we have to break them down. But in 4th position, game in hand on Woking, so it's not the end of the world.